Hey, I'm Dr. Melissa. This week we are talking about decoding your symptoms. And I want to be really clear about what I mean by symptoms. We're talking physical symptoms, headaches, chronic pain, hip pain, knee pain, skin breaking out, any kind of physical symptom you can imagine. But we're also talking mental symptoms, the worry, the monkey mind, the mental spin that our head gets into that drives us away from productivity and away from our goals. We're also talking about emotional symptoms, fear, sadness, and grief, pain, emotional pain, hurt, disappointment, frustration, anger. And we're talking about spiritual symptoms, those symptoms that we feel, the overwhelm, the fatigue, the sense of being out of alignment with our mind and our body, being out of alignment with our life purpose or our why. And the reason it's really important to consider all of these symptoms is they're actually a gift. And I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, and it is completely true, because all that these symptoms are is a messenger. They are pointing you the way on your map. These messages are essentially, your GPS system giving you the next direction. They show you where you're out of alignment, where you've gotten off course, and they guide you in how to get back on if you only know how to interpret them. In this way, they are the greatest blessing ever because they tell us where we need to go. I'll give you one example. Years ago, I had left hip pain. I had a crazy day. I was working out a lot back then. I had run several miles. I went to a spin class, and then I went and I did Tae Kwon Do. And I was paired up with a 16-year-old black belt for doing kicks, and I was not going to be outdone by the 16-year-old. So we were doing, 100 roundhouse kicks on each leg at each other, and over the next couple days, my left hip hurt terribly. Turns out I had torn a partial tear of my left hip flexor. And so I did physical therapy and the whole thing, and it got better, right? And so most people would say, well, that's really obvious. Duh, you ran, you went to spin, you did Tae Kwon Do. It would be normal in your 40s to tear a hip flexor. But there's more than that. The gift is in the message that lies beneath it. Left hip pain is being off of your life program, being off of your path. It is being out of alignment with your why, with the truth of who you are here to be. And for me, in that moment, it was very much true. And so realizing that message, rather than getting further off course, right? Much easier to course correct. If you envisioned you were driving a ship across the ocean, much easier to course correct if you're 1 degree off than if you're, 45 or even 90 degrees off. And so having that wake-up call, repairing my hip, but more importantly, getting myself back aligned with my path was huge in moving forward. And so I encourage you to shift your mindset about your symptoms, to see them as a gift and to be curious about what the message is. Because as soon as the message has been received and acted upon, the symptom often goes away. If you would like to join us this week and learn more about decoding your symptoms, I invite you to join us for our live show in my Facebook group, The Abundant Tears. The link is in the comments.